Hi everybody and welcome to Nesting in Place at Tres Sabores. Rory's here again and all the dogs, and Mary Beth is filming, and we just wanted to bring you something very exciting that's starting to happen on the ranch right now. Trying to bring you in despite the fact that we're now going into yet another 4 weeks of this sheltering in place. So hope your spirits are high. We hope we can lift them a little bit today. Come on in, Mary Beth, and see what's happening here. It's bud break.
Yeah,
well, getting close
to
it. Getting close to bud break. These incredible bronze and chartreuse, crimson colors. These are vines that were planted in 1972 here on the ranch. And I just want to share with everybody how much energy being here in the vineyard right now gives to us, because these vines have been doing this for almost 50 years. Same way, same energy, resilience is what we're talking about. Healthy soil, healthy vines, and the sheer amazing nature of the fact that this is a grapevine, just like tens of thousands of years before it, doing what it knows how to do best. Rory, tell us that you're technical. Rory manages my vineyard here, and tell me your technical aspects about what's going on here.
It's kind of cool to get up close again and see what's going on, because you're right, Mom. I think the resilience is one of the coolest things about bud break, where you have all these new buds coming out. You can see here, this one's quite a bit further out than most of the rest. This is the new shoot. So in pruning, we cut down last year's wood to just this little, what we call a spur. And out of this spur, we left 2 potential bud positions. And from these buds, we're getting the new growth. Off of this new growth, about on average 2 clusters of grapes will eventually form, and that's how you get your fruit every year. And then next year we'll prune it back. And you can see what's kind of cool about these old vines is you see the nearly 50 years of work for cuts small, some cuts are big, and that's just the number of hands that have touched it over the years. You can also see a little bit of a hint of our next job in the vineyard, which is, you can see out of this one little position, we got 2 buds coming out. Eventually, in about 3 or 4 weeks, suckering will begin, or what's also known as shoot thinning. And so we'll go through and kick off one of these buds. We don't do it right now.
You don't want to do it just to show people?
Not right now, because
Okay.
it's actually, because they're so fragile, it's a good idea to leave everything as is, let everything grow a little bit longer, and then once you're a little bit more assured of how things are going, that's when you start doing the selection. The vines right now they've got so much energy pent up from the soil that you can see behind, that's been, soaking up all the winter rain. We've been getting, fortunately, a little bit more rain in just the last few weeks.
More this weekend.
Yes. Weekend. We're feeling good. We love rainy days right now.
Bring on. Unlike, I know some of you are saying, oh, no, we just got to get outside and take a breath of fresh air. But we're only at 16 inches right now. We would love to have another 2. Well, yeah, right.
We might get it. But it's kind of fun just seeing how these develop. And what's fun about, we're standing here at an end vine at what we call our edge block of Zinfandel. So this is on the very edge of the vineyard on the high side, and you can see I'm standing up on top of the hill, and you can get
you're really not that tall.
You can get behind us a sense of the kind of sweep of the alluvial fan coming down off the mountain here, down the canyon. And the soils up here at the top of the vineyard are quite a bit thinner than they are in the middle, and that changes the temperature of the soil, and basically it changes how early these vines wake up. And when we say wake up, this is what they're doing. They're waking up and they're sniffing the air. Their fingers are in the ground, and they're going, okay, now's about the time. The sun's, coming up in the sky, and it's time for me to come out. We got to remember, the vine is trying to make this calculus, because if it comes out way too late, then everything else around it is going to have grown big, and they're going to already taken all the nutrients out of the soil, and the vine's not going to have much left to go. If it comes too early, it stands a chance of getting frozen by frost events. So we do get very cold mornings here in Napa Valley, and that's one of our biggest issues. And so if this comes out too early, then these buds can die from sub 32 degree temperatures. And so the vine is trying to figure out, hey, what's the right time for me to come out? And that calculus changes in different types of soils for different vines. And so this vine has learned to come out that it it's on balance because of the thinner soil. This has to come out a little bit earlier because it's got fewer resources to compete for. Whereas the vines that are in the center of the vineyard are typically in much deeper soil. They've got these deep alluvial soils coming down out of the mountain, and they've got a little bit more juice to them. They're typically more vigorous, and they've got a little bit more kind of nutritional resource available to them. So they can hedge their bets to come out just a little bit later. And there's always a little bit more food in the soil out there. So those vines are kind of protecting themselves by staying tighter in. But within a week or two, even they'll have come out, especially with nice warm days like this.
Well, put it another way, if you put a shovel in the ground, you'd hit really, really almost hard rock. Up there, you'd hit it in about 24 inches. Right about here in about 3 feet. Right out there, about 20 to 40 feet deep. So that's an alluvial fan for you, which is characterized by great drainage. And for us, that's one of the things when we discovered and really paid attention to what was going on out here, it really gives us as winemakers direction about when to pick. So we call this the edge because it absolutely is on the very first edge of harvest, probably sometime in late August or early September this year.
You're already thinking about harvest? You're crazy.
Of course I'm thinking about harvest. Well, I gotta be
away.
optimistic about something. I mean, holy moly. The pomegranates are already starting to get a few buds on them. The dogs are already really happy. They're like, good, we're out in the vineyard now 24/7 almost. But the best thing that I see is that this old guy is still going, and come September, I plan to be going too. So thank you all for joining us today. We'll see you in the vineyard next week. Thank you so much, and take care. Bye-bye now.